Hey guys, I'm Eric here, watching that, and you're watching TMT. Now, TMT, Too Many Trailers, if you're not familiar with it, is a show where I, Eric, aka Mr. Movie Monkey, review a bunch of new trailers that come out that have to do with a particular theme. Today's theme is Undercovers. There's surprisingly a lot of trailers that are big and that have came out recently that have to do with this theme, whether they're going undercover to save the day or do a top secret mission. It's Undercover. The first Undercover trailer we're going to be reviewing is Mission Impossible 4 Ghost Recall. Mission Impossible 4 Ghost Recall is obviously the fourth movie in the Mission Impossible franchise. I've seen all three movies and I love them. They're all so fun to watch. They're all really action-packed and intriguing, and I love the little genre they've created with that series. Probably some of the most fun movies ever made. And Mission Impossible 4 looks like no exception. Tom Cruise is back and he is kicking some booty. And the story behind this movie, based on what we get from the trailer, is that there's a mysterious bombing, and so the government and the president all initiate this little thing called Ghost Protocol, which basically means that everyone on this team is just like forgot about, they don't exist, and they go out to Washington DC to investigate the bombing. And of course there's going to be a lot of awesome action, and this trailer definitely sells it. There wasn't really a teaser trailer before this, so I actually wasn't aware of this movie being made. So when I saw the trailer in front of Transformers Dark of the Moon, it was awesome. It was such a surprise and it was so exciting for me. The trailer, it's actually a really fun trailer. It gets you really pumped and really excited. I think people who haven't seen any of the movies will want to go back and watch them in order to watch this, because I think they'll just think this movie looks awesome. And it does look very awesome. The trailer mainly features Tom Cruise, the star of course, and Jeremy Renner, who I'm really excited to see. He's a very great actor as well, and we'll be able to see him in the Avengers coming out in 2012. The biggest problem I had with this trailer was the first song that played in the trailer, Won't Back Down by Eminem, featuring Pink, who sings most of the parts in the trailer. I like Eminem, but I didn't think that song fit the trailer. The trailer was also put together a little bit strange. Like, once they got to the part where they starts playing the Mission Impossible theme, which is a very cool part, they cut it up. It's really cool, but once they get to that part, it feels like it's been going on for a long time. I didn't think they really needed the first musical part of the trailer. I think they could have just cut to that part right away and it would have been a lot better. But overall, I'm so pumped for this movie, and the trailer is put together very well, besides a little bit of nitpicking that I have, but who cares? I'm going to give this 4.5 out of 5 stars. The next Undercover trailer I'm going to be reviewing is Sherlock Holmes 2, A Game of Shadows, which is an awesome title, by the way. There's a very mysterious setup behind this. I'm not going to really explain it. It's really cool if you watch the trailer, but the setup behind this is very interesting. It's very vague as well, obviously, because Sherlock Holmes is probably like the most famous mystery series. I'm definitely excited to see how the mystery part of the movie unfolds, but obviously there's not really a market for mystery in movies these days, so it had to add something else. And I was hoping after I saw this trailer, when it premiered on Apple Trailers, that in the beginning, when they kind of introduced the whole premise, that it would just have some awesome action as well as mystery. And there was some very cool action parts, but once it got to this one part in the trailer, it started turning into an action comedy. Action comedies can be very good and very fun, but I think if Sherlock Holmes just went to the totally opposite direction and took itself more seriously, it could have been a lot better. Obviously, I haven't seen the movie yet. I could be wrong, but this is what I'm taking from the trailer. I just wish the trailer made the movie look more serious, because Sherlock Holmes obviously has so much potential. The first movie was very fun. I think this movie's just gonna be goofy and not as fun. Sherlock Holmes 2 stars Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law. And Jude Law looks like he's gonna steal the show. He looks very funny in this. But I don't know, this movie just looks like it should take itself a lot more seriously. Overall, I'll give it 3 out of 5 stars. Next up is a trailer for John Carter, or Disney's John Carter. And the story behind this movie is that there's these weird creatures going into this land. I'm not really sure when it takes place. I'm not really good with history in movies. And it pretty much looks like Prince of Persia meets cowboys and aliens, definitely leaning more towards the Prince of Persia part. Honestly, not a lot to say about this movie. It looks dumb, looks corny, and probably not going to see it. It comes out in March, so there might not be a lot of movies coming out then for me, but I don't think I'm going to see it. It doesn't look very interesting. The action isn't very good. There's not a lot to say about this trailer. I'm going to give this 1.5 out of 5 stars because there is some okay special effects. Next trailer is the first official trailer for The Pirates Band of Misfits. The Pirates Band of Misfits is the newest trailer from Aardman Entertainment, who usually teams up with DreamWorks, but this time they're teaming up with Sony Pictures Animation. And if you don't know, Aardman Entertainment is the team behind Chicken Run, Wallace and Gromit, Flushed Away as well. So they work with like claymation stuff, and I'm always fascinated by that. It always looks so cool. And honestly, the animation in this looks like the best yet. It looks so awesome. And I was cracking up in the beginning of this trailer. It looks very edgy. It looks like it's not as much as a kid's movie. It looks like it's gonna kind of be a little bit more raunchy. Not raunchy like a rated R movie. I think it's still rated PG. But they make a joke about lepers in the very beginning of the trailer, and also the guy dies in the beginning. It looks like it's gonna be really funny though. It stars Hugh Grant, and he's a pirate captain, which is kind of goofy. So they go on this like big quest. And obviously stuff's gonna go wrong, and it's gonna be really funny. And as a fan of Wallace and Gromit and Chicken Run and Flushed Away, but mainly Wallace and Gromit, I think this movie's gonna be great, a lot of fun, really funny. And this movie looks hilarious. I love the claymation, and it all looks great. I love the setup, all the scenery, and the oceans are gonna look awesome. Overall, this trailer sold it for me. It looks like it's gonna know what it wants to be. A goofy, kind of a little bit edgy animated film. Claymation is great. Overall, I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 stars. The next trailer is probably the biggest trailer of the year, and that's the trailer for The Dark Knight Rises. Yes! From Batman over here, obviously excited as well. The Dark Knight Rises is the third and I'm pretty sure the final Batman film produced by Christopher Nolan, who just completely changed Batman. But it's a lot darker, and it's really cool. If you haven't seen Batman Begins or The Dark Knight, what are you doing? But I'm a big fan of those movies. The Dark Knight is probably one of my favorite movies of all time. Batman Begins was a little bit slow for me, but it was an interesting origin story. This is a teaser trailer, so not a lot is given away, but we do know Batman is going up against Bane, played by Tom Hardy, and Catwoman, played by Anne Hathaway. And there's a super cool shot of Bane in the trailer that's like a millisecond long, but it's awesome. I love the scenes in the trailer. It looks like it's going to be really well directed. Looks like it's really going to be really dark. It's going to be awesome special effects, of course. And of course, Christian Bale is awesome. I think he's going a little bit lighter on the dark Batman voice. So they're going to dial down on that. The acting looks great. The scenery looks great. I love the whole tone of the movie. It's going to know what it wants to be. This is probably the last time we're going to be seeing Christian Bale on screen as Batman, and Christopher Nolan's awesome direction on Batman. So that's sad, of course, but this looks like it's going to be an awesome movie. I have to give this 5 out of 5 stars. Alright, our final Undercover trailer for today is The Amazing Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. He's my favorite superhero. I grew up watching the Spider-Man movies. When the first one came out, it was one of my first superhero movies I saw, and I just fell in love with the character. I'm a huge fan of superheroes today. I have my Batman, of course. I actually have a Spider-Man over here on my bed. Say hello, Spidey. He doesn't really talk. Yeah, I love superheroes, and one of the biggest influence on superhero movies for me was Spider-Man himself, and The Amazing Spider-Man, which I love the title, by the way. I grew up reading the Amazing Spider-Man comics, so The Amazing Spider-Man is basically a reboot of the whole Spider-Man franchise. It starts from the beginning. It's pretty much more depth on the beginning story of Peter Parker, as shown in the beginning of the first Spider-Man movie, which as I watched the first Spider-Man movie, which came out in 2002, as I watched it as I got older, I realized that was actually very lightly touched on the origin story of Peter Parker, and it got right to the action, and it was a really good movie. I love the direction of it. But this one looks like it's going to be a lot more of a origin story. And oh my god, when I saw this trailer, I was like shaking. Andrew Garfield looks like he's going to be a good Spider-Man. When it was first announced that he was going to be playing Spider-Man, I had no idea who this guy was. When I saw The Social Network, though, I realized how awesome of an actor he is. And I don't know, he looks like he has more of a personality in this one. And he doesn't look like as much of a nerd. He looks like kind of a whole different guy. So I'm not sure who the villain's going to be. There's no background on the villain. Emma Stone looks great as Peter Parker's love interest. She looks like she's going to be just excellent. I actually came to like her from the movie Easy A, which came out last year. But from the trailer, this movie is going to be all about Peter Parker and his struggles, and I think that's very interesting. Because for most superhero movies, let's face it, when the first reaction to them getting superpowers is just like, whoa, this is awesome, and that's pretty much it. I'm hoping this one will add a little bit more depth to that realization about they have superhuman powers. And at the end of the trailer, there's this really cool POV shot of Peter Parker just running, jumping on buildings, and my favorite shot is definitely at the end of the trailer, the last shot where he just jumps, Spider-Man just jumps, and you could actually see the full costume. You see the full costume at all in the trailer, so it's revealed really cool. Just him jumping, you just see his hands, and then he jumps at this glass window, you can see his reflection, and then it's just the title. And like I said, I love the title. This movie's going to be awesome. Overall, I give this trailer 5 out of 5 stars, and that's all of our Undercover trailers for today. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, Mr. Movie Monkey, on Mateo's channel, B.A.B. Films, and of course, this channel, We're Watching That. Comment on the video telling me what's the most movie you're excited for out of all these trailers. Of course, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.